is okay as long as Venison laughs. And that is the line we're going to open with this week. So hello, everyone. We are here waiting for Venison to laugh. And that is the line we're going to open with this week. And Venison's too busy watching the live stream to laugh. So that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
We were just talking about past jobs, you know.
Yeah, that Civil War thing. Guess what side it was on? And to give you a hint, I'm not a Trump supporter.
So that would make you not with the Republicans. So of which
conservative?
Of which Abraham Lincoln is. So that would wait. How did that happen?
They changed sides, a little later on.
Yeah, no, this ain't Lincoln's party no more. Lincoln would not be a Republican today. But that's not what we came here to talk about. So
you were with the Southern boys.
So let's not anyone miss the painting over a little bit of petty humphing. Let's just stay put here and not talk about Lincoln or Trump or that crazy Uncle Venison that we warned all the kids not to sit on his lap.
He's wearing a T-shirt saying, "We the people are so screwed."
Well, let me let you in on something. This shirt works for everyone, okay? Everyone thinks we're screwed, but they all think that for different reasons. And the reason I'm wearing this shirt is because I happened to be wearing this the last time we painted, and I got paint on it. So this is now forever my painting shirt. You see that right there? That right there is the reason I'm wearing this shirt. Not this. This. So,
that shit green?
Yeah, that's a shit sap green. And I think there's a little bit of there's a little bit of Van Dyke brown in there too, and there might be a little dab of there's some phthalo green there, and there's a little...
Ladies and gentlemen, he wiped his ass with a shirt.
No, I did not. No, I did not. But we are waiting. We are waiting for Brian, and while we are waiting for Brian,
ooh, they did get the tornado.
We do need to open the show. And this is, once again... Once again, you are tuned in to another live edition of...
Insert title here.
The show that changes titles so often. We had to put a placeholder in. And this is one of the weeks that we paint. That's because we're crossfading. Neo and I are crossfading, and it's not sexual. It's just paintual. Is that a word? I just made it up. It is now. And it's all. You give me a strange look now in the corner there. I think.
Yeah.
So.
Because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And it's not because I'm saying nonsense, although that's helping. It's because she is stoned off her ass right now. That is right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get drunk off my ass right now, and we're gonna start here with a nice chilled, straight out of the freezer shot of aquavit, everyone's favorite Norwegian liqueur to shoot. And
well, shit, that's a good idea.
We're gonna say "Skål" and down the hatch.
Break up.
Oh, yeah. That is good stuff. And I also got a nice glass of Eagle Rare bourbon, neat, in a Glencairn glass, which is great for smelling your bourbon before you drink it. And that is some great smelling stuff that we're going to be drinking while we're painting. And I have the mic set up as a room mic, so I'm filled with a little bit of room sound. But while we're waiting for Brian to show up, we need to talk about transportation. Venison, you're familiar with mass transit options, right?
Yeah, duh, I have to.
Or the lack thereof. And I don't know how they do things in Ohio. I do have some experience with Jersey Transit, but what I have a lot of experience with is mass transit. The MBTA, which uses a big T for their logo. And I think the reason for that is because you can't spell stupid without the T. And they have proven themselves worthy of that slogan this past week. I wake up one morning at 5:10 because I often say I get up at 5, but the truth is I get up at 10 minutes past 5. Why? Because I need to be out the door by 5:30 because that gives me enough time to walk to the train station and catch the 5:44, and it takes me about 20 minutes to get ready and be out the door, and so I am getting every last minute I can get, and so those 10 minutes are mine. And so my alarm is set for 5:10, and that gets me out the door 5:30 on a train at 5:44, in Boston by 6:45, and at the office at my desk at 7. Like clockwork. And then we do the reverse at 4 o'clock and catch the 4:30 train, and I'm home by 5:30. It's all good. As long as everyone does what they're supposed to do. Maintain their shit. What are you yelling about, Venison?
You're lying. As long as people do what they're supposed to do.
Yes. So I get up at 5:10. I walk down the train station at 5:30. The train shows up at 5:44. And on the way to the first stop, there's a little bit of an announcement going, the earlier train this morning is stuck at Sharon. Sharon is the second stop on the way to Boston on my line. And so we're going to help them out this morning by pulling up to them, connecting trains, and pushing them in the rest of the way. Now, mind you, this is the train that came before the train that I get on at 5:44. Which means that that's the earliest train of the morning. Don't they inspect these trains at the end of the day or the beginning of the day? Shouldn't the first train of the morning be the one that's the least likely to break down? Does that logic make sense to you? I mean, wouldn't you think that you would, on a daily basis, give your trains a little look-see and be good to go? Like maybe later on in the day something broke down that was not quite ready to go when you gave it the inspection, and like halfway through the day or towards the end of the day you have a breakdown. But first train of the day? Really? Anyways, I'm going to bring up the chat to see if anyone else is sharing their mass transit stories while I'm sharing mine, because you could write in. Else is yeah, there is no chat coming in yet, but it's there if you want to. You were saying, Lulu?
Yeah. I don't have one about trains, but I do have one similar to transportation and all that. You see, we get a lot of tourists up here where I'm at.
Oh, people like to, visit the middle of nowhere California and see the locals in their natural habitat. Little
meth heads, heroin addicts,
bit of a
babies,
safari
mamas.
sightseeing type of thing.
Oh yeah. We get a tremendous amount of.
You'll scare the meth head. Quiet. Shh.
Yeah, you'll scare the meth head in its natural habitat.
It's mating season. He's gonna go up and say, "Hey, baby."
The inbred fat people, we don't
want to see that mating season. My apologies for putting that image in.
Yeah, that's even better. And the redneck country folk that harbor, the good old boys within the rank, and they take care of the government in this area where there's no law.
They are the law.
Through.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the law. So, um,
So mass transit is, Uncle Jed's van with the Confederate flag painted on the side of
yeah,
it. Is what you're
yeah,
saying.
that's basically our mass transit. But what's interesting is I don't know why, but the we just have a lot of stupid people that come visit, and on top of the stupid people that already live here, um, we get a lot of different like accidents along the highways in the mountains, and like they
Inbred,
get
inbred stupid plus uh, uh, tourist stupid plus mountain roads
yeah,
equals wow. I don't want to. Wow. No,
yeah,
that's too much stupid.
it's too much stupid on the road. Like you talk about traffic jams, dude. Like during the winter and stuff, not only are we having like rock slides and shit on this stuff, but we get backed up so fucking bad when there's a fucking accident because some retard is taking, a fucking turn at 75 and a 35 with fucking heavy rain, and all of a sudden they fucking slip and decide to derail and crash into a big rig and then
I
send themselves over the fucking cliff into the river.
well, I think that's what you call a lesson in physics. Is what you call that, and momentum a bitch when you learn about it that way. Uh,
More or less stupidity.
yeah, this was a different
Yeah. On a
kind of.
slight note to that, I was coming on to an entrance ramp, just about the same thing, at high speed,
Yeah,
because I had my van with the suspension and these awesome tires. So I'm able to go around this thing a lot faster than you're supposed to.
So I got a question for you.
Oh,
Do
man.
do your do your highways actually crumble into the ocean on a frequent basis?
ooh,
Yeah.
no, not so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not close
ours
to the.
does.
that
Oh, but the
that's
greatest
what you
thing.
call road construction budget in inbred country. Is
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, but this was great though. As I was coming around the curve, I'm watching this other car behind me, pretty much trying to keep up with the speed I was going. And I just saw the back end of this car just slide out. And I'm watching them trying desperately to slow the car down and stop themselves from spinning. I just laughed at it, kept sped up and kept on going.
yeah. What else can you do? Anyways, that was strike one with the MBTA. No inspections for their first run of trains, resulting in train numeral uno of the day breaking down in Sharon. So, okay, all right, but they got a plan. Our train's going to pull up behind it. They're going to link these trains together, which they're built to do, which they probably do in their sleep because they're professionals. We link the trains, we turn it on, we push them in, we're back on our way. All is right with the world. Should be that simple, right? Not so much. So we pull up behind the train, and of course, anytime a conductor's doing some kind of maneuver with trains, there's a requirement that you must jerk the train with a short, sudden jerk forwards and sudden stops as much as you can to make the experience as unpleasant as possible for the people on board. And so, of course, jerk it up, jerk it there. Lights go out, and they're connecting things. The lights come back on. They jerk forward a bit. They jerk forward a bit. An hour goes by after they connect the trains with no announcement or updates or anything. And finally, they kind of make an announcement to the effect of, we're still having problems with the trains linked together, and we'll update you as soon as we know more. And I'm like, still having problems? Like, they said that as if they had already told us they were having problems. trying to pretend like they had been giving us updates, except they haven't been. So that, I guess that's like a retroactive previous update by saying it that way. I don't understand the logic of these idiots that work for this horrible wreck of a company that just exists to destroy our commute every day. So yeah, that's going down. So of course, what do? I pull up my phone. I pull up Twitter. Because sometimes they tweet things that they don't tell us. Sometimes the best way to get an update about the train you're on is not from the actual engineers that are on the train with you. Sometimes the best way is to get an update from some dude sitting in an office typing things into their computer. This is what we call communication in the modern era. And sure enough, I see a tweet that the train behind us, train number 3 of the day, is held back in Mansfield. But that's not the way they put it. They didn't put the train in Mansfield as being held because we got 2 other trains that are held because we're a bunch of idiots that can't figure out how to push a train. No, that's not what they said. Train such and such is being held in Mansfield due to Amtrak traffic. I looked at that. I was like, oh, hell no, you didn't. This is not Amtrak's fault. Yeah, they're trying to tell the people back behind us, like, hey, dude, we totally moved forward, but Amtrak, they own the tracks, you see, and they're making us stand still so they can go around us. It's like, no. They're making you stand still to go around all this bullshit because you're all a bunch of idiots that can't move any of your damn trains forward. So they're like, you know what? Fuck you. You're shut down. We're using the one good rail now. So how do you like that, huh? And sure enough, Amtrak trains are flying past us. And so I tweeted back at them like, don't you put this on Amtrak. Your train's holding in Mansfield because you can't get a damn train to move in Sharon. And they said, well, yeah, but Amtrak owned the rails and they made us hold the train in Mansfield. I was like, yeah, you're being, fake news. Fake news. That right there is textbook definition of fake news. So, yeah, I was pissed off. And then at some point, they decide, okay, the train in Mansfield, we got the okay to move the train to Mansfield for it because Amtrak got their trains through, so, everything's good for a little while. So they decide they're going to pull the train behind us up on the other side of the track in Sharon and continue on. So they basically say anyone that wants to get on the train behind us, it's going to be coming up shortly. So everyone gets off the 2 trains. Everyone goes up on the path to cross over the tracks, and everything gets so backed up that people can't get up the stairs to cross over the track and come back down the stairs. I took one look at this crowd of people. I'm like, ain't no fucking way 3 trains worth of people are cramming into one train. And at this point, train number 3 is getting into peak commuter time. That train's normally a packed train to start with. And now we got 2 other trains worth of 40 commuters that are all going to jam into that train. I don't think this is happening. I just don't. And so people gave up trying to go up the stairs. And then they start turning around, looking at us at the bottom of the stairs, as if well, you're going to all turn around and go back in the train. We look at the train that's still not moving, and we're like, hell the fuck no, keep moving that way. And they're like, no, we're not going to fit in there, you move that way. And so this standoff's going. So I basically said, well, I'm going to figure out plan C. And I walked over, and I pull out my phone, I pull up Uber, and well, it would have been $70 to get an Uber back home. And I was only 2 stops out. So, everyone and their mother's getting an Uber, and all of a sudden, you know what Uber's got to do? Well, we're going to charge 5 times as much now. How do you like that, huh? How do you like that? What's that? Trains aren't running? You really need a car? How much it worth to you, huh? Fuck you, Uber. So,
there was Lyft.
Yeah, I think Lyft was charging the same thing. So,
oh my god!
So I look at the train, I look at the stairs, I look at the platform across the way, I look at At some point, these idiots somehow figured out, oh, we need to turn it on, and figured out and said, okay, get back on the train, we're going. Now here's the thing: they told us to get back on the train, but all the lovely people that crossed over to the other side to wait for the train behind us. We're gonna get to them. So we get on the train, we start pulling forward, and I see just crowds of people on the other side of the tracks just watching us move. What can you do but wave at the nice people as you go off?
Why didn't you look at their Twitter accounts and look at their curses?
Oh, we share curses. There are people that will like and retweet my criticisms of the MBTA. So, yeah, I read theirs, they read mine. And with that, we continued on slowly because we were pushing a whole bunch of dead weight. And, of course, there were 3 trains worth of people at the stops up ahead because, people came for the first train and second train that never showed up. People were showing up for the third train at this point. So, yeah, train got packed.
Oh, God.
But we got there. I got to work 2.5 hours late that day. So, bang up job there, MBTA. You are just doing a hell of a job running the trains. Yeah, that is...
At least you didn't have the Japanese situation where there are so many commuters, they have conductors, basically jamming people in the doors so the doors are closed.
Anyways, Brian said he was going to be here 35 minutes ago. So,
Well, now.
I think he fell in the toilet. Is what I think happened.
Oh, wow.
Help me, I can't get out.
So we're going to try to call his phone and see if he picks up. Because we got to start painting soon.
Whoa, shit, that's a big tornado.
Don't worry, Madison. You'll be taken away to the wonderful world of Oz.
Okay, it says Brian Blue's phone joined, but I don't hear anyone.
Well, it's all happening.
Hello.
Oh,
Because
hello.
everybody else is talking.
So, you sent the email at about 5:30.
I know, and I responded that I was going to be there at...
In 15 minutes at 4:45.
Yes, right. But then again, all this crap's going on. And I'm just setting up the computer, but then the damn phone rang.
oh, it's our fault you're running so late. I see.
Right. I do have good reasons for being late. And you'll probably see that, I really even need more time. But, hey, hang on. Let me finish setting up and connect.
All right, well, we're going to start putting magic weight in the canvas, and we'll see you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 2 minutes, right?
Okay, all right.
Start your stopwatch, and then you can call me a liar. It'll be my fault again.
We will do it.
All right, super.
Bye.
Oh,
What's that?
can somebody explain this to me? I guess I'm sitting here looking at the live pictures of the tornado outbreak that's currently happening in Texas and Oklahoma. And you look at one of these live feeds, and you see the tornado going across, then going across the highway. But you see people still driving toward it at a pretty good speed.
Well,
What the hell?
if you're going to die, you may as well make it quick.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
And we stopped Texas from succeeding?
Anyways, it's time again for crossfading with Lulu and Gators, where Lulu gets stoned, I break out the good bourbon and get drunk.
Can I eat
Yeah.
something?
Sure, as long as you don't eat the paint.
I'm
Don't-
not gonna eat the paint.
Okay, good.
I just
And
said
here I
eat
am,
something.
drinking my butter schnapps and adding comments.
All right, so I'm going to take the 2-inch brush here, and I'm going to dip it into my my magic white, and we're gonna put magic white on the paint, the canvas right now. This is what helps us slide around things, and I'm going to do less magic white than I've done in the past. So we're gonna get a nice thin layer of the magic white on the canvas. So we got some on the top there. And now Bob showed us how to do this on the first episode, but pretty much for the rest of the season, he starts the episode with the magic weight already on because he's what you call prepared. And much like Paula Poundstone's manager, Lulu is going to crinkle in our ears.
I'm sorry.
I'm just teasing. It's actually a funny running joke on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone that her manager is always like crinkling paper during the show. And they always tease her for it now. It's become kind of a running gag. If anyone listens to, that's a pretty good podcast. If you got time to listen to a podcast and your regulars aren't updated yet, give Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone a try. All right. You might know her from Wait, Don't Tell Me if you listen to quality programming like NPR.
Brian's here.
Hello, Brian.
Yeah, hi.
How do you like my
I'm
painting?
still, hang on, I gotta
Okay.
change my setting and whatever. Oh, hey, it's beautiful.
I've
He's
covered.
got prepared.
We have covered the canvas in a full layer of paint here. Is that a beautiful painting? We could call this done, and we could say that this is a statement of the intelligence of America, and we could hang that in the.
It's Cracker White.
Cracker. Oh my God!
Oh.
It works on multiple levels. Oh my God! That is so great. That is so great. Okay.
Okay, so is that white or is that yellow?
White. That's what you call the magic white. That's a thin white paint that you cover the canvas with before you start. That helps the rest of the colors kind of slide around, let you move things around. And I'm putting my brush here into a bucket of odorless paint thinner. If you don't want to use...
so it's you. It's a gay cracker.
Yeah, it's like Astroglide.
And I got here a box with a copper pipe in it. We just beat
Astroglide for easels.
we just beat the devil out of it.
So you want to
Brian,
fuck the devil?
no, I just want to beat the devil out of the brush. So Brian, you said you had a very good reason for your tardiness you wanted to share with us.
Well, I did have to. Dang it, I forgot something. Maybe I'll slip out and get that. So I had to prepare my head because I'm still sick.
So you were...
The thing I forgot was the halls, which is the most important thing, right?
With the menthol, yes. The mentholated
Yes.
thing.
I did have the Flonase, and I knocked off the last dose of Robitussin.
Now, bourbon also makes a good cough syrup.
You know what makes a good cough syrup?
Pot?
No.
That's kind of
I
nice.
had a thought, whoa, I'm learning something really new.
Honey, lemon, turmeric, and that's about it. Honey, lemon, and turmeric.
She's been smoking, and now you got your canvas in watercolors. I got my canvas in magic white and oil paint, and we got a very young Bob Ross with episode number 2 of The Joy of Painting that we are going to start up here.
Glad to see you again. Thought today we'd do a picture that's right straight out of Alaska. We'll do one.
And Alexa will turn on my computer room
In
lights.
the North American continent. And we'll start off today. We use just a little bit
Alexa,
of Prussian blue, maybe a
turn
touch
on
of
my
phthalo
camera.
green mixed with it here.
All right, so we're going to...
And let's
Alexa.
dance in some basic shapes here.
Oops.
I've already put the
Whoops.
magic white on the
Whoops.
canvas to save a little time.
All right, so we're putting in some basic
Alexa,
shapes
We're just
here.
literally mixing color right here on the canvas.
Alexa,
Just
turn
let
on
this
my
brush
computer room
dance and
lights.
play and have fun. And all we're looking for is general basic cloud shapes here. We're really not trying to put anything in. Just let it happen. Just move the brush, keep it moving, working, playing, having fun. There we go. Isn't that something? There we are.
And he's
Yeah.
not yelling at
Nice
anybody.
little cloud shape right there. What the heck? Okay.
There we go.
Keep the brush moving. Don't let it stop. Sometimes brush is lazy. You have to really push it a little or it'll quit on you. Make it keep moving. Okay, now we'll take the almighty brush here, and we're going to swirl this. We're going to
So
pull the
he is
color.
going to be
Move it.
aggressive with his brushes.
Pull it. There we go. Try to avoid a pattern. We want this to go everywhere. We're looking.
We need to pause. So he's doing this now with a dry brush, I believe. So we want to clean our 1-inch brush while we're at
I'm
it.
trying to catch up at where you're at.
All right. So he basically put his sky, put a bunch of blue with a little bit of touch of phthalo green and swirls on there. And notice he's keeping some white things in between because they're going to be like clouds and shit. Okay, there we go.
But shit is brown.
Oh, no. I don't mean
You
shit.
should know.
Yeah.
I know that whole thread on that, right?
You've been having a bit of problem with the... All right, so let's see what he's doing here. Now, I'm actually going to... I'm going to actually make this a little bigger so it's easier for me to see without covering my canvas. All right. So let's back up a little bit here.
The almighty brush here, and we're going to swirl this. We're going to pull the color. Move it. Pull it. There we go. Try to avoid a pattern. We want this to go everywhere. We're looking for a sky here that has life in it, has movement in it. We don't want a sky that looks like at night you pull the curtain down and everything went black on you. So I want to keep this moving. There. And already you're beginning to see all the little things happening up here. Every which direction.
That's pretty
Every
cool.
way. There we go. Now you can blend this too much and take it all out. We don't want to take it out. We just want to mix it up.
I kind of blended a little
Stir
too
it up.
much. I think we'll leave it like that for now. And
Okay, while we got some paint on the brush here, we'll add a little more Prussian blue and phthalo green. And we'll put us in some water. We pull from the outside in
Right in there.
and leave a little area open here. That will create the little sheen of light that plays across the water. You could go back with white paint and put it back in, but you've already covered the canvas with magic white, so why not use it? This is a lazy man's way of painting. You let the paint work, you let the brushes work. Use what happens naturally, don't fight it.
all right, I need to pause.
Okay,
I'm still putting my water in.
clean the old brush off and let's get out.
We're gonna see. I think I need to do a little bit. That we'll do like that. Oh, I got a hair on there. This brush is losing its bristles.
Oops, is it a cheap brush?
I forget. This one's non. This is one of my non-official Bob Ross brushes.
Now, a quick question. Is that blue up top there supposed to be blue sky?
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
Looks like storm clouds.
Oh, we haven't added the clouds yet.
Yeah, but the blue itself looks like clouds, and it looks like stormy.
No, that's sky. No, wait. When we try to add the white, it'll turn gray and turn to storm. While Bob makes nice, beautiful, billowy, fluffy clouds. This is tradition whenever I do this. There we go. That's the best part. According to Bob, anyways. All right, so now I think he's going to try to put some
An
clouds
almighty
in.
fan brush here.
Okay, I got a fan
And-
brush.
Let's build some happy little clouds up here. I'm going to take titanium white with the least little touch of permanent red in it.
All right, little bit of red
And
until...
load the brush full of paint. Just really load it up. Now we'll start working on some basic cloud shapes here. And we'll dance in all these little areas and let them just play in the sky.
think I got a little
Keep
too
the
much
brush moving.
red in mine.
Keep it moving. You want areas that are thick, areas that are thin. Let all these little things happen.
I think it's the Wicked Witch of the West.
And we'll take the big brush here and gently, gently blend this together. Very lightly.
I'm not getting the white to stick on there.
And fluff it up a little and hypnotize it. And right there you've got an almighty cloud. Just that quick.
Yeah.
But
Almighty
they're very
clouds.
easily killed. Clouds are delicate. Don't overwork it. Put it in, leave it alone.
Well, if it would go in, I would leave it alone. Alright, so we're gonna try to put a little cloud in over here. And we'll get some more.
Okay.
Get some more of my white here. Load up the brush, and we'll. I think we'll put a happy little cloud right over here. There we go. There we go. It's, something's kind of going in. Lulu, how you doing?
I'm alright.
There we go. We need a cloud over here. Oh my God, that's actually like white paint on top of the blue, kinda. Not quite exactly what I was hoping to do. But there we go. Keep the. Okay. All right. So maybe it's a little stormy. Maybe it's supposed to be a stormy day. You know, Mount McKinley has some storms, right?
Yeah, I was about to say.
All right.
It's probably more often that you have storms on Mount McKinley than you don't have storms.
Well, there we go. So my painting's more accurate than Bob's.
Is Mount McKinley near the ocean?
Well, it's near water, anyways, according to Bob. All right. So
Yes.
Okay, maybe we'll have another one here. We'll
all right. So we're going to watch
layer
him
these clouds.
put in the clouds like I did.
Okay.
And his clouds look more like clouds than mine.
Nature is so beautiful. Just let it go.
But at some
Have
point, he's
fun
going to
with
do something with. I think we got to fluff him at some point.
Very, very easy to work these to death.
I'm happy with my amount of clouds.
Blend this in. You work in layers here. You do the thing as the father's to wait first. Have him finished and then work forward. There, we'll hypnotize that one. Blend this one a little bit.
Blend that one.
Okay. A little bit more red here. There we go. Don't want to set these clouds on fire now. All we want to do is have a slight warmish gloat, like the sun's playing along the top.
Set the cloud on
There
fire.
we go.
Yeah.
Yes, we better not forget this side of the sky. We'll put a little something over here.
Yeah, each of
There's
the
some nice
streaks of
little
clouds
clouds
that he's
playing around
doing,
in the sky.
it looks like the Wicked Witch of the West is coming in.
Okay, we'll mix these
kinda-
up a little bit.
It's kind of looking like a sky. I mean,
Okay. Maybe a little streaky one right here. Got baby clouds too. If you didn't have baby clouds, you wouldn't have big clouds. There.
there we go.
Yeah, we can work
That
on
kinda
this
looks
one
like a
little
sky.
bit.
I think that does. I think I kind of got a sky going here.
Okay.
It's not the most
There, looks like a nice
pleasant
place.
sky, but it is a sky.
And we're really pushing this paint into the canvas.
Yeah, it looks like a
We're
sky
gonna
over
value
Oklahoma
into the
right now.
canvas.
Right.
Just let it.
Now I could add another cloud
Don't
because he's
kill all
still
the dark areas. You can end up with great big cotton balls in the sky.
he's
if
still
you're not
adding
careful.
clouds. So we're going to go ahead and load some more paint onto my brush for
Guess
my
I'd be considered a
titanium
UFO,
white.
Big cotton ball in the sky.
We're going to go ahead and put
There.
a nice
Fluff that up.
little. Well, yeah, that's why I have a drop
Work
cloth on the
that
floor.
paint. And look at there. In just a couple of minutes, you have a sky that has so much action happening in
Hey,
it.
Johnny,
Yeah. What's
you
up?
don't need drop
There
cloths
we go.
because it's your house.
Well, that's why I need drop cloths.
Well, that's why you want to use it. You're choosing to.
If you do this in your living room,
But you don't
can
have to, 'cause you're
redecorate
not
your living
living.
room in a matter of minutes, so be very careful. Learn to control it. Have you a box you can shake your brush in, and that way you don't have to worry about covering everything.
See,
Okay,
he
let's
just
take a
told
little
you.
bit of brown, and blue, a little touch of alizarin crimson.
Well, I'm not ready for that
And
yet. Let's back up here. My brushes aren't coming out quite as clean as they were last week. I might have to add more paint thinner to my... Oh, there we go. All right, so now I want to take my... I'm going to take the 2-inch brush this time, and we're gonna blend in this cloud I added here. Do a little bit of that, and then we're gonna fluff that up. Fluff that up a bit. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That's totally a cloud right there. And we're gonna gently.
Do you have a way to zoom into your picture so we see it better?
Yeah, we could do that. We can.
You can't just zoom in center.
Well, it won't let me drag further than.
Well, keep zooming.
It won't let me. You'd think it would. Oh, maybe if I do that. Oh, no. See, if I try to go bigger, this program sucks.
What garbage are you using?
I'm using XSplit broadcast. I'm using XSplit. It lets me overlay things. That's why I'm able to put Bob up on top of us.
Right.
But here, if I move this closer briefly, so you can look at our sky. See, I think you kind of, there's definitely some shading going on there, and so it looks like you definitely get the feeling of a cloudy sky there, and a water with shimmering on the bottom. I think I got a good start here.
Yeah, you could just put a whale in there that's jumping, and you're done.
Yeah, but we're gonna paint mountains instead. Now let's see what Neo.
No, remember those birds he was talking about? Put them in there and draw a lightning bolt coming out of a cloud and hitting one of the birds. Feathers flying everywhere.
There we go. So let's see, Neo. Oh, Neo, you got a nice kind of sky thing going there, and you got some nice
I'm
swirls.
still working on it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Looks good.
This gives me a chance to catch up on my drinking, because Neo is way more stoned than I am drunk right now.
Is that a tornado?
And this here, I am drinking Rare Eagle bourbon, neat. And this is a lovely glass. I bought a set of 6 of these Glencairn glass that is just for drinking bourbon. And Brian,
Nice.
you should get a set of these. What do you think, Brian? You like the
pop a link to one on the Twitter feed.
Oh my God! There we go. Well, while Neo's painting, we'll let Neo catch up with her sky and her tornado. Or is that a dick in the sky?
Either that or a big finger.
No. Well, she's going for a bit of a yellow hue because the sun's shining through it. No, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay, Lulu, say something so we can see better. Oh, that is nice. Or it's like a eagle claw.
Well, there we go.
You just have to darken the actual, tail end.
Remember to leave food at the bottom for the watcher.
You can go suck my cock.
Okay.
You got one of those?
I would have never guessed.
I've got a penis.
And she doesn't even have Tourette's, so you know it's true. So I just tweeted the link to the Glencairn bourbon glasses that I am currently drinking from. So you go ahead and check that on the Twitter and buy yourself a set of them if you like to drink bourbon and you want to get serious about your bourbon.
So is that bourbon from Kentucky or from Tennessee?
I believe the bottle said Tennessee. I watched a few different videos about whiskey or bourbon experts doing blind taste tests of bourbon.
Yeah.
First, like there are four guys. They each bought their favorite $20 bottle, and then they blind taste tested them, picked their favorite, and declared a winner. And then they did the same thing with a $30 bottle, or no, they did the same thing with a $40 bottle. And Rare Eagle won the $40 challenge. And when I went to the store, the one that won the $20 challenge was like $30, and the one that won the $40 challenge was like $35. So I went with the Rare Eagle because for $5 more I got $20 better value or something because the internet said so. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
So yeah, it's good stuff.
If the internet says it must be true.
So Neo, just let me know when you're ready because we will, we'll let you catch up.
No, you can keep going. I think I'm just gonna do clouds and some water.
And I think we found here the key difference between doing this stoned and doing this drunk. Doing it drunk, I'm still trying to follow along with Bob. Doing it stoned, it's like, I like the clouds. And you just paint whatever the first thing is. No, it's all good. It's all good. We're going to go ahead and resume Bob here.
You do this in your living room, you can redecorate your living room in a matter of minutes, so be very careful. Learn to control it. Have your box you can shake your brush in, and that way you don't have to worry about covering everything. Okay, let's take a little bit of brown and blue, a little touch of alizarin crimson, and some white. There we go. And don't mix your paint dead. Mix it marbly
Brown,
and leave
blue,
it alone.
alizarin crimson, and white.
Okay, now let's do, since we're going to do McKinley today, let's do the basic shape here. McKinley comes down like so.
All right, I got to mix my paints. All right.
Oh, by the way, so if you don't want to buy 6 glasses and not get it on prime, you can go into the Glencairn, and they have the same thing in a set of 2 that's prime and $16.96.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, they have a set of 6 that's prime, $35. The link you sent said 65 and it's not prime, 68 and it's not prime.
Oh no, that's.
Oh no, that one was prime.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not spend $60 on those. I brought up the same link from my order page, but I thought I paid like 35 or something like that. All right, so I've mixed up my paint. I think I need a little more white. All right, there we go. There we go. I got a nice mix of paint there. Right there is where I mixed up my paint, and now we're going to go ahead and put that on my knife. And we're going to watch what he's doing.
Has another peak running right off through here. Make that just a little more rounded.
They're so happy these mountains are flooded.
There. And we let this side drop right down and over. All you're looking for here is the basic outline, the basic shape of this mountain. You're not worried at all what happens in here. Okay.
He's probably thinking about
Take the
McKinley.
big brush.
I'm thinking
pull
about
that
putting
down.
a few peaks on there.
This takes off the excess paint and makes the next layer stick better. And also when you're doing mountains, if you can see the entire mountain, the top of the mountain is always more distinct than the bottom. At the bottom of the mountain we have mist, and now we have pollution. We have a multitude of things that break up and diffuse light.
Pollution in Alaska?
We'll put some snow on that almighty mountain. Pull that paint out real flat. Just pull it out and get us a little roll of paint.
I thought he was all natural. What the hell?
What?
No, those weird noises.
What, on my end?
I don't know whose end.
I don't know. It could
Well,
be.
it's raining right now,
It's like, well,
so.
no, it's like someone's tapping a brush.
Oh, I tapped my brush.
Okay.
Oh no, I was thinking more about what sounded like a roaring wind.
Yeah, it's rainy and windy. We have a storm.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes.
no fun.
there we go. There we go. That's kind of mountainous. I think I got some mountains going here. And now we're gonna put some snow on those mountains. And to do that, I'm gonna need to put.
Painting outside.
What's that?
I was saying, what is, Lulu doing? Painting outside.
I'm not painting outside. I'm in my camper. What the fuck, dude?
Dude, respect the camper.
No, it's just like I said, it's hearing all that wind. And it sounded like a pretty good gust came through.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking windy.
We gotta wipe off our knife. There we go. There we go. And now he's gonna start putting a little snow on the mountain. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch this and then I'm gonna do it.
And we'll put some snow on that almighty mountain.
Oh my god, I've been locked
Pull
on
that paint
Lulu.
out real flat. Just
No one sees
pull it
my
out,
mountain.
get us a little roll of paint. And we'll just lay this on and let it travel right on down.
Alright, so we're gonna start on the right side. That here.
And you want the paint to break like this to make all the little things that happen in there.
Roll of
The
paint
little
break.
shadows,
Look at
light
that
and dark
snow.
areas. And there's a little bump, it comes out right there.
Alright. Let's see if I can do this convincingly. Hey Brian, what do you think of my mountains?
Oh no. Oh, I'm looking at his.
I haven't put the snow on mine yet.
And, the sharing thing is like, locked up or something. All I'm seeing is Lulu's. I'm
Well,
not seeing yours at all.
you're behind. I did lock. I was locked on hers. Alright. We want to get the roll of paint on there. It's not quite a roll, but alright. So we'll go ahead.
Again, it would be really nice if you could just zoom in quickly and then zoom back out.
Okay, a mountain coming out of the ocean. You going to make turn it into a volcano?
Well, I might.
No, that's about right. A lump of rock.
So I was just looking at Twitter and I saw an outfit that's anti-horse racing.
Oh
And
boy.
so they show all these pictures of horses falling and all this kind of stuff. And so on one of them I responded, off to the glue factory.
Well,
Ha.
that's
Oh
right.
yeah, that'll put him in a good mood.
But what's the solution? If there is no money in horses, there won't be any. Whatever. They can have their opinion too. And they are expressing it.
Oh yeah, then all these racing committees. Oh yeah, they'll like it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried.
Alright, his paint breaks a little nicer, but I think he's cheating.
And works his way down. And over here, let this drop just like so. go. Now for the shadow color, we'll use a little Prussian blue and white. And once again, don't mix it dead. You want it to be sort of marbledy. Okay, now we'll start with the shadows. We'll just lay these in here. We want to bring these two areas here together. So we just sort of work it back and forth and let it come. There you go. Let it just come together. And maybe this shadow comes right down through here. Every highlight needs its own private shadow.
My shadows aren't quite coming out like his.
Okay, we'll put a little shadow right there. And see how that protrudes that up? Makes it just jump right out at you. Little ridges here and there. All kind of little things happening in this mountain. And we need a shadow back here behind this almighty peak. There it is. Just let him go.
There we go. Snow and shadows.
Okay, and we want a peak. It comes right up through here and just begins working its way back down.
Maybe if I blend that a little with the brush, it'll come together a little nicer. This isn't a Bob Ross technique. This is more of a Gator's technique to try to fix the shit that he did wrong. We're just gonna.
It's a nice ridge coming through here.
Blend that
We
together
can
a
bring
little
these
bit.
together.
Make it like a mountain for someone that needs glasses.
Little shadows in here.
Can't afford them.
Apparently he's drawing a winter picture because snow wouldn't really go down to the water level.
Okay. As we said, we want this
Oh,
to
it is
be
Alaska.
more distinct at the top and the bottom, so we're going to diffuse the bottom of it, and only the bottom.
Okay,
Here we're just tapping the canvas.
we need some diffusion on the bottom.
Trying not to destroy, only diffuse. And this is where you really depend on a firm paint. If you have a loose, oily, thin paint, you become a mud mixer here. So when
Fuck
you
you,
try this at
Bob
home,
Ross.
if you find that you're making a lot of mud, check your paint. It should be very, very firm. Squeeze that tube. It should stand up maybe about 3/4 of an inch above the tube. Then you have a nice firm paint. Okay, I'm going to make the same color and make it darker. Blue-brown, a little alizarin added to it. Because I want this mountain to be in front. This is a beautiful study of how to make one mountain look very, very big. We'll put some little smaller mountains here in the foreground.
Oh boy, more mountains. Alright, we're putting some
A
mountains
little peak here.
here.
And we'll take the big brush and pull that out. Son of a gun. Just comes right out. That's the beauty of painting wet on wet. You can move paint on the canvas.
Alright. Let me catch up to
And we'll
him
put
here before we put some more there. Alright, now we're gonna move that paint around.
Your mountain does look very snowy.
Oh, there's plenty of white on there.
And you could always add more if you likes.
No, because I'm at the point where adding more just turns things to mud.
Right. Of course, now that you've got that close mountain, you really can't do that. Lulu could kind of change her camera angle a little bit.
I really can't draw the way everything is, so I mean,
Well,
is that
we'll go for
better?
your interpretation. So, oh yeah, that, and then bring the picture up or turn the camera down, however you want to look at it.
Well,
Just a little bit.
there's
Oh,
really
perfect.
nothing I can do, dude.
No, perfect. You right there. This is fine.
He's happy with what you just did, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Of course, your arm makes it special.
Well, okay, I'm in a limited space.
No, I understand that. I'm just trying to.
Stop nitpicking.
No. That's
Go blow your nose.
I think
that's
this
just
needs.
making fun.
I think this. All right, so I get drunk, Neo gets stoned, Brian needs to get something.
Yeah, I got sick.
You got sick. I
So
see.
I have this cold from hell.
So you're gonna be the grouchy old dude, like, the camera this way. I'm gonna be smooth.
I'm trying to be helpful.
No, I'm just
Right?
I'm just busting your balls.
Okay. Lulu, are you okay with me?
She's stoned. She's okay with the world.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
But that's fine.
So I got some mountains that got some white and shading on them. That's a little abstract, and I got some new mountains I added in that are kind of lumpy, and we're gonna see what Bob wants me to do with those.
A little happy little snow here. Just let that run. There we go.
All right, so we're gonna add snow to those. So I need more.
Ew. I think Lulu's subconscious is coming through. It looks like he drew a big dick.
He drew a big dick.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing no dick.
Okay, let's see Lulu. Say
Doesn't
something.
look like a dick.
No, well, we're not even looking at Lulu's, so I think.
I think this is Venison's issue.
Yeah, because
I'm not even done.
Lulu's got no dick.
I'm not even done, fucking
Not-
turd.
Not
What's
counting,
wrong with you?
Not counting the one in my pants, I have no dick. But I mean,
I'm getting
on
drunk.
my canvas. No one take that out of context. All right, so we're gonna add snow. I'm gonna use my smaller knife this time. This will let me get a little more detail into my snow. So we're gonna. There we go. There we go. I think that's kind of working. Okay. We're gonna need someone that peak too. All right, let's watch what Bob does now. I still don't get why my paint doesn't break the same way his paint. I bought his paint.
Okay. Our light is still coming from the same direction here, so don't let that fool you.
So Bob Ross is still selling paint?
Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
Well, his company still sells paint.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now we can work in some shadows here.
And you're using a real canvas, right?
Yeah.
Let's push that one into the background. Just come right on through. And that'll push him back. Scary to have this much power that you can move mountains. Okay, there. We can swing this around and bring these two right together. Just make a nice little ridge out of that.
All right, what's he doing now?
Okay. Now we've got an almighty mountain.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little of the blue-brown, alizarin crimson, add a little touch of sap green to it. Looking for a dark color here, very dark. And we'll load up this 1-inch brush and we'll push in some little dark areas here. This will be our little trees that are way back in the distance, bushes and trees and all the little things happening back here.
Fucking threes again.
There we go. Now with the big brush, we can pull a little bit of this color down. And this will be the
So he's
beginning of
putting
our
trees
reflections.
on the water.
Well, you know, we're covering up. This is our foreground.
And we'll just give it a little bit of ripple to make it look watery.
All right, so let's see. I need to work on my trees here a little bit because
So in 1926, my grandparents were in Alaska, and she did some painting there of some of the scenery. But it's mostly like log cabins, some mountains, stuff like that. They're pretty good. My folks have those up on the wall at their place.
now we're going to pull the bottom of these down.
That's
to
cool.
Make some.
It is cool.
Yeah.
You know, and I've watched a number of episodes of the Life Below Zero series on National Geographic, where there's these people that live in Alaska, and they're living off the land. So they catch a bunch of salmon, and they put them on a fish rack. In one of the pictures that my grandmother did, in the corner is a fish rack.
Wow.
Of course, you post that on Twitter and, you know, to, you know, the link for the show, and they don't give a shit.
No, of course.
Right.
All right, there we go. So we got some figures of bushy trees at the base of the mountain, and we got some of the reflection in the water. And I think the reflections look better than the actual trees.
Okay, let's put some highlights on here. I'm going to use a little bit of magic white mixed with some cad yellow.
Okay, let's get some magic white over here.
A little touch
So,
of permanent red.
Side
And we just sort
question,
of go
then,
back
so-
and forth, make a nice orangey color here. Bright color.
There's the brown.
There we go. All these nice little bushes happening back here.
All right, what's he? Oh, he's painting. Oh, I see. He's painting bushes on top of the trees. Just to. Now
then
this
we'll
is
reflect some of
where
that right
my
down into the
things
water
turn
here.
into mud mixing.
There we go. Now with a big brush and the most delicate touch possible. Just enough to pull the paint a little bit. We'll pull that down and just give it a watery effect. Don't want to destroy it. Okay. Now let's mix
Wait.
up a lot of dark here. Blue, brown, alizarin, and a little bit of sand.
Okay, we're not ready for that yet. I'm still trying to paint some bushes onto here. I don't get the same patterns he gets.
I gotta let my painting dry and then I have to do another step.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm painting some happy little yellow, orangey bush work here. I think this is where the song originated from. Push, push in the bush, push, push in the bush. Push. They meant pushing the paintbrush when you're painting bushes to Bob Ross episodes, right? That's what that song's about, right?
Sure.
If you say so.
Okay. And now we're gonna go ahead and clean that brush. There we go. I'm gonna take my 2-inch brush, and we're gonna pull that down to get the reflections in the water.
Woot woot.
We're gonna just come across there really light. Get a watery effect there. There we go. There we go. I think Well, at least we got some kind of color and we got some kind of reflection. I don't know that they're bushes, but they are colorful and they are reflected.
They are colorful and they are reflective.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Oh, he was going to start mixing up some dark. So we got to. He was saying some blue, and some brown, some alizarin crimson, and some of the sap green here. Okay. And what else was he saying? Let's see here.
Sap green. Should look black to you. And we'll load the brush full of paint. Load it full.
Which brush you got there?
Lot of paint.
Is that the one?
And let's make some little evergreen trees that are growing way back here in the distance. Okay.
All right, where's he putting that evergreen?
Let's firm that one up a little bit. Needs to be a little stronger. There we go.
All right.
Cat butt.
Maybe he's got a friend that lives right over here. Just drop him in.
How come this brush makes this nice little thin line? And mine just makes a big thing.
Maybe they get a little bigger as it comes around the curve.
Because you probably did something to your brush. It looks really round.
Yeah, I can't.
Maybe a little
paint
baby one
everything
back
with this
here.
brush.
Let me see your brush. Yeah, you have a thicker brush. You did
bush
something
in
to
front
the
of you.
bristles. You need a new one.
No, he's painting. He's cheating. He's using different
Okay,
brushes.
take a little touch of magic white, a little bit of brown,
Fail.
and a little touch of yellow.
I'm not
Just
ready.
to make a nice...
I'm not ready for magic white, brown, and yellow. All right, let's try making evergreens with a fan brush. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do this with a fan brush. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to load a lot of paint on the fan brush here. And we're going to make a nice evergreen that lives right here. And we're just going to go ahead and do that, and do that, and paint isn't coming off the brush. Okay, see, this is the part of the program where what Bob does is not working. I can't make it. How is he making these shapes? I am loading up my brush with all this paint here, and I got
And
plenty.
it's gonna turn to mud.
I wonder if it's a timing issue. Because if it's still wet, it turns to mud. If
But
it's too hard, you can't do crap with it.
but
So there's some place in the middle where it will do what Bob Ross does.
according to Bob, he is painting live without edits, and the point of this technique is to paint while your canvas is still wet. And I think part of the principle is that you have a thin paint, that you have the thin magic white, you put a thick paint onto there, you move it around, and then you're supposed to get a thinner paint as you go that's supposed to stick to the thick paint. And so I'm going to add a little paint thinner to my paint. But anytime I do this, it just makes a bigger mess.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not recorded live or shit or anything. They fucking mess with that.
All right, I've thinned my
Well,
dark.
you could see his camera stops if that's what's happening.
Well, I mean, he changes camera angles, but it's supposed to be just live switching the camera angles.
Right. But you don't know what they really cut.
Well, would Bob lie to us?
Yes, because okay, go to a section of the of the video where it just shows a corner of the painting. Tell me not where they can cut that and let that shit dry.
Anyways, we're going to continue on best as we can. These evergreens ain't happening on this painting because the paint's just not sticking. So we're just going to wipe that dark color off our knife and run the knife through the paint thinner some to help that along, and use my... Oh, and by the way, this ShamWow I'm using that I'm just covering up with a bunch of paint and turning into a bigger mess every time I do this, this was a gift from Dale. So Dale has made his contribution to my art habit here. And I'm sure
Dale, our former boss?
Yes. We did
Actually, have you heard from him?
No.
I haven't either, but then again, I don't hear from anybody but you, and I do get some back and forth with Rob and Nick.
I talked to my Fong probably a few months ago when I was asking her to put in a good recommendation for me, and she put in quite the recommendation for me, which goes to show that when it comes down to it, she will lie for you. And we're going to continue on here. And
Oh, he like long ride.
Okay, take a little touch of magic white, a little bit of brown,
magic white, brown,
and a little touch of yellow, just to make a nice sandy looking color. And we'll lay in a little water line back here.
Pirate ship.
Oh, we're putting brown in with a sandy. All right, so we're doing this with magic white, brown. All right, so I need to add some more brown to my palette. And a little bit of the yellow. Okay, I think I got some yellow left for this. All right, let me put a little glob of brown over here. Just a little. Because, like, this painting's going nowhere beyond here anyway, so why waste more paint? We'll throw a little yellow there. And take a little bit of magic white. Just throw a little dab of that right over there. There we go.
Tap,
So
tap, tap,
Lulu-
tap, tap.
Lulu,
Oh.
What?
should Jonathan add a pirate ship or a Viking ship?
Viking.
We could do that. But at some point, I got to cover up the edges and corners of this. But we could add a Viking ship. You know what? It's funny that you would suggest trying to debate whether I should add a pirate ship or a Viking ship, because it don't matter what type of ship you tell me. I'm just going to paint a brown blob in the shape of a boat. So it's not like it's going to make a difference.
The Exxon Valdez. With oil leaking.
Yes, that is exactly how that's going to come out. All right. So we're...
So about 25 years ago, I was working with this woman that got some paintings from a friend of hers at the office, which were not that good. But she hung them on the wall because, you got to, because they work in the same building. And so I went to the Hagar Horrible comic strip where they had a Viking ship, and I clipped it out. And we just stuck it to the ship on the little pond.
Oh my god.
And this lady never came around or saw it, so
Damn.
that would have been good. And my friend could have blamed me, and I was like, yeah, you could do all kinds of enhancements, with just a bit of tape and scissors.
So we're putting
Just
some
don't
land.
just don't run with them.
Putting some land in here. This is our land. See that land? That looks like
Where's
land.
Where's venison?
Oh, I'm right here. You just check for your face.
And we'll
You
cut
can
in a
really
few
feel
little
that-
trunks
hear
and
that knife
sticks
that
here and
Bob
there.
Rossi's using. Looks like he's working a Ziploc bag.
Put in some sticks and things.
Whoa, that's a massive tree.
Okay.
Alright, my paint
Maybe we
looks...
need another tree right here.
Fuck you and your trees.
Trees are getting closer, so they're getting a little bigger.
My
Look
brush
bigger
don't
to
make
you. This
trees
is the way
like
we
your
push
trees.
everything back.
Actually, since
Work
this
with
is
perspective
in
here.
the Bay of Valdez, those trees aren't there because of the last tsunami that went right up the fjord.
Okay, let's move it to the other side of the picture while we got a brush full of paint here, and we'll put an almighty tree right here.
Alright, almighty tree goes right...
Okay, so now Bob Ross
Here.
is ruining with his trees.
These trees live in your brush. You have to scare them out sometime. Really work at them. Little son of a guns will try to avoid you.
And Johnny is nowhere near the trees.
Yeah, that's a
And they're
tree.
like everything else. The first time you try them, they're gonna
That's not a
drive you
tree.
up the wall. But you
You know what?
practice it.
In
If there's a secret
California,
to this, it is practice.
we have a lot of things that look like
You
trees
learn
that are actually
how to make
cell
the
phone
brush
towers.
work,
Yes.
how to touch the canvas with it, and then it's just a matter of practicing.
It's
I've
like
seen some.
I see
They're-
those. I
First
go,
time you
they're
touch it, sure
weird.
it wasn't
So
easy. You
who's
have to
being
look at it
fooled
and
by
work
that?
at it. Next thing you know, you're not
They're
paying any
fucking
attention.
weird,
Just
dude.
you got your shoe tied. Same thing.
Now, Bob is drawing some nice looking trees. And
Yeah.
meanwhile,
We'll just-
Johnny looks like a giant
Maybe we'll
sand.
make another little projection coming right out through here.
This
There we
ain't
go.
doing anything like his brush is
A
doing.
reflection in here. And we'll pull that down.
Okay, so Johnny, you should grab your camera and do a close-up
Okay.
of the picture,
Lay in some more of these
and
pretty
we
colors
will
back
look
here.
at those trees.
It's a nice little
I'm thinking
bush
they're not
right
that
there.
bad. They're not the same as John Ross, but I think they're okay.
There's one.
Hey, Lou,
And right down here we'll reflect some of these.
Yeah.
Okay, delicate touch again. Very, very
Hey,
light.
Lulu,
Just enough to
Huh.
Google device
move it a
said,
little bit
hey,
on the
what,
wet
what do you
canvas.
want?
Oh my god.
Lulu,
And we'll put some land
Google,
out here so
same
these
thing.
bushes have a place to
Oh
sit.
yeah. I even get the Alexa going off
Don't want them to fall off in the
with my
river here.
name.
Yeah, I gotta go.
We'll give him something
what
to
was
sit on.
said?
Yeah. It's like what?
And we can take a clean brush and just lift that gently. This is a very thin paint now. It's mostly magic white. So you can
Funny
move
thing
that without
is
destroying
that
what's
the
underneath
device
it.
won't activate if you see an
And
Amazon
here we'll use a little
ad
bit of
that
just straight
has
magic
a person
white.
talking to the device.
And we'll put
Yeah.
us a happy little
Knows
waterline in here.
that it's the ad.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre.
There.
Yeah, I don't think trees are that tall.
Okay. Now then,
What venison?
you can put some more little
I
bushes right
don't
in
think
here.
giant trees are supposed to be that
Like
tall.
so.
You're not drawing California
And we'll
redwoods.
drop some reflections into the water.
Alright, well we need to cover
We'll
up
pull
the,
those down.
we need to cover up the canvas with more
Any-
trees to basically cover up our corners here. And I'm just not getting anything to stick right. So we're gonna try to figure out how to mix up some more paint. Because I'm running out of paint on my palette here. But let's clean my too thick 1-inch brush and my cheap ass 2-inch brush. Lulu, how you doing? How did your painting come out?
I'm still waiting for it to dry. It's not done drying. I still have to put some white on it. See?
All right, and now we need to mix up.
That's mine so far.
We need to mix up
All right.
some Van Dyke Brown and a little bit Prussian Blue. A little bit of that in there.
I'm hungry.
Just a dab. Just a dab will do. And some alizarin crimson. There we go. Put that there. Right in the middle there. And some of that sap green. We're going to hit it with the sap green a bit. Right in the middle. For good measure.
I think my cat's stoned.
Yeah, that would happen if you have a hot box situation going on there.
I did.
I used to get my dog stoned.
Did you see that recent article about the cops, and I forgot the location, got like a $500,000 pot and were burning it, and they all got stoned?
No.
And when the guy posted, I posted to the guy that, this was on Twitter, I think. I says, oh, you know what? They should sell tickets and make that into an event. I bet you they would have a lot of money, people showing up to enjoy.
I mean,
Down with drugs. We'll watch them burn.
When they do
Breathe
raids,
heavy.
when the DEA do raids, in Northern California, I think they're smart enough to understand that you put a gas mask on before you light it. You know, I mean, like it's not that hard. It's just I think the Border Brothers don't really know.
Anybody can
What
do
to do
this. This
with
is
it.
not some big secret thing.
Are you kidding?
Anybody
This
can do
is
it. We teach people from the age of 10 all the way up 80 and 90 years old.
Think of all the money they make for the PPA.
Ow.
And young people really,
I think also
really like this. They learn it very easily,
the
very
cops
quickly.
sell it. I think
and they
some of
see
them take it
results
home and
very
sell
quickly.
it back to like
I
the
have
dealers and shit.
Son that's a young man right now. And he was,
Yeah, the dealer.
well, he's
said
been
the-
painting since he was about 12 years old.
Yeah,
Been selling
that's
his work.
possible.
Gators, can you turn down the
So it's
Bob
not
Ross?
just for the older person.
Well, I'm trying to.
Also work very well for the young person.
Thank you.
The only trouble, like my son, he's quite lazy. He'll only paint if he needs money. If he needs money, he'll paint. But it is a nice way to put a happy buck in your pocket.
My son is kind of lazy,
And to make good
He's
things
good at
happen in your
painting.
heart.
but only if he needs money.
Okay, we'll just have his
I've met artists that were pretty good.
fill that in.
They do paint it, but they're so picky that they can't get themselves to sell it. I think that's the saddest thing.
Now we can start highlighting some of these things. We'll take a little bit of blue and yellow mixed together.
I'm good at painting, but
Make a very
I'm
nice
so picky with what I want to
color.
paint, I don't paint.
And we'll just drop some
Yeah, we know
Where your
this.
light's coming from. Light's coming from the right. So you want the right hand
I
side
can
of
hardly
the
draw a
street to be
straight
little more
line,
distinct
so.
and bright than the left side.
But if I was better,
If you're
healthier, I
right-handed, you'll
would.
probably find it's
participate.
easier to have the light coming from the right.
Oh yeah.
If you're left-handed, it
Not
will
right.
vary from person to person. Okay. Let's put some little highlights over here on these little trees. The sun wouldn't forget that.
So do you think YouTube is going to
No.
burn us for the background music on his show?
YouTube has not a fucking clue what it is.
A little more magic white. Thin that down just a touch.
All right, what are we using for highlight?
And we can start finding all these
Okay.
beautiful little trees and bushes that are living in here.
Do we need to rewind a little bit?
Very important
No,
that
I
you don't
got it.
kill all this dark
At this
area.
point, it don't matter
Kill all
because
the dark,
my
your
thing's
picture's
looking
gonna
like
be
shit.
Very flat.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well just reflect
Yeah.
it right into the water there. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
A little bit right in here. And we'll reflect that right on
This is
down.
marvelous.
A touch of red over the top.
Now, Bob Ross's painting, I gotta admit, that looks damn
Another nice
good.
tree, I see.
Well, he's Bob the man fucking Ross. Of course it looks
Little
good.
rascals live in your brush. You guys got to push them out.
Almost as good as
Looks
my
pretty
grandmother.
natural. Last time, you were pretty
Touch of
close.
magic here.
This time,
There.
Well, he's cheating.
I'm telling you.
He's using his painting skills. That's cheating.
Telling,
All these pretty
I'm
little
telling you,
brushes, just let 'em
they
flow
they
off your
wait
brush.
for that shit to dry before they continue. It's all been pre-recorded.
Who was
It's
that
not live.
chef in
Some
the
grassy areas
late
like that.
60s that was doing a cooking show?
Turn
And
that into
so,
a nice
he'd
reflection.
prepare stuff, he'd throw it in the oven,
Just like so.
and then he'd open a second oven and pull the dish out,
Now,
all cooked.
Yeah,
they all do
let's give them
that
a
They all
little
do
dirt.
that. All of them.
Of
to
course.
save time.
But I think he was the
Straight Van
first
Dyke brown.
where it was obvious.
And onto that,
Of course, he
we'll
did a
take
lot
little
of drinking
brown
on
white.
TV.
Give him just a little touch
I
of
can't
Oh, you mean
remember
the
the guy's name.
little cooking sherry for this, little cooking sherry for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put a few
Oh, I don't
Which,
know.
as a kid, you think, oh, well, that's
Here
just
we're just
faking.
cutting
But
through
no,
the
he
paint
was an
using the point
alcoholic.
of the knife. But it shows distance. It shows all these different planes.
Hey, Jose, in the chat room. If you look at Neo's painting, you'll see a dick.
There is
Just
no
a little bit of
dick.
magic right under here. Just a little waterline.
See, I'm not.
Fuck you, bitches.
No, it's just him, man. I don't think so. Here, turn your camera again.
It's not done yet, you fuckers.
Damn it, I got
No,
paint
it's
on my
fine.
hands this time.
Uh-oh.
Alright, I'm calling this done. I can't do anything more for this.
But you see what you can do in just a few minutes with an almighty brush and an almighty knife and a beautiful painting in your heart. All you have to do is let it out. A few more sticks. There we go. I think we'll call that finished. And I want to thank you very, very much for watching us. I hope to see you again in the near future. Until then, happy painting. Thank you.
Right on, baby. Uh-oh, changed music on us.
Wow.
Come on, Google, identify it.
I like his painting.
God, I can't even get the red paint to work right to get my damn name on this thing.
You must be proud of it if you're going to put your name on it.
Well, no one else is going to take credit for this.
I think he wants someone else to take credit for it.
There we go. BRIAN Blues.
Oh, man.
There we go. There we go. We got a big old gators on that. And of course, I have refrained from writing my name in big letters across the whole painting because Venison really took offense to that.
Because you ruined a good painting.
It wasn't that good. That was my point.
Was this a prior week?
No, that was the first one that I did some years ago at this point.
Oh, you've done this years ago. I didn't realize that.
We used-
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Well,
this was
He
something
painted
that you and
Captain.
We
Lulu invented.
well, we talked about this when we worked together. I used to do this for the telethon.
Yeah, I
he
had
painted-
wanted.
He made a log cabin, with some fencing and some background and with little trees, and it came out pretty good. Except he got all drunk and signed his name in big ass letters across the painting.
Well, it was okay. It got sent to someone else.
Okay, so in the recent episodes of Insert Title Here, Have there been any painting episodes that I missed?
This is the second one. We did one 2
Second
weeks
one.
ago.
Great. Where's the other one? You still have it?
Downstairs.
Why don't you just take a cell phone shot of them and post them on Twitter?
Yeah, I'll do that. So here we go. This one's done. To appease Brian, we will bring that in, and there's a closer angle of that. What do you think?
Well, I think it's pretty good.
There we go. Yeah,
I like it. Again, without insulting you, pirate ship or Viking ship? Or Rexon Valdez.
All right. All right. We already signed the name, but apparently this has to happen now.
Again, it could be added from a picture from some comic strip or whatever that you cut out with scissors and
All right.
overlaid it.
We're gonna
That way the ship can move.
take a bit of the magic white here.
Oh my god.
He's gonna do it.
And we're gonna use my fan brush here. We're gonna take some of the Van Dyke brown and we're gonna mix that with the magic white to get a nice lighter brown going here. And we're gonna now what would make this a Viking ship?
Well, you need kind of a raised pointy end on both ends.
Okay, all right.
Just a little bit.
So we got to. Now this is where we separate boys from men. Here, where we take our brush loaded with paint on our beautiful painting that was described as not bad, and I think we're gonna do a little like that.
Described as not bad.
We're gonna do a little
More like could be worse.
little, like that. And we're gonna. There
And
we
it
go.
has a single mast in the center.
All right, we're gonna. There we go, and that's gonna go right up there, like that.
Don't forget the oars at the side.
Absolutely.
Oars up the side. Okay. All right.
And you have to kind of look closely. So let's see, how many oars will fit on each side that will look reasonable?
There.
Someplace
There.
between 4 and 6, I guess.
There we go.
Excellent.
There's our Viking ship.
And if you could put in a little sail, then you'd be done.
Okay. All right.
You know, it's a square sail.
Square sail, you say? Okay. In that case, we're gonna clean that brush out. You know what? And I think we got this lovely little filbert brush over here that's been sitting untouched. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna dab that into the magic white just a bit, and we're gonna go ahead and just. And like so. And we're at the point of mud mixing, so that's going to have to pass for a white sail. And with that, we clean off our filbert brush.
Way cool.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about taking what Bob Ross does and adding our little spin to it. And that's why one of my paintings in the past had a purple sea monster with the green polka dots in it. That wasn't Bob's idea. That was Emily's idea after drinking a alcoholic beverage that turned out to be concentrate in like about 5 alcoholic beverages mixed in one. And she managed to mumble out purple sea monster with green polka dots before passing out. But that was in the past.
Oh my god.
And so we painted it. It was also her great idea to add a bulldozer. Because
Lulu's or Emily?
Emily's. We were painting all the happy trees, and Emily said, put in the bulldozer. So there we go. If you squint and look blurry and at a great distance, it's a Viking ship passing in front of Mount McKinley. Because that's where the Vikings landed? I don't think so, but sure, why not?
You could just say this is Greenland.
Yes, yeah.
Although people will say, that doesn't look like that.
It's okay. That's okay. It don't look like Mount McKinley either. And
I
we got-
think mine's beautiful.
yours is better. Mine looks more like Bob's. Yours is better. I think that's the theme of this show. Gators paints more like Bob, but poorly, and you paint something that's good and beautiful.
Different.
Now you see, Lulu's painting, what it is and what it means is in the eye of the beholder. For some people, it's an abstract expression of a dick. That would be Venison's interpretation. For me, it's a
In
kind
the
of...
lower right-hand corner of the screen.
No,
Ah, shit.
no,
What am I saying?
no, I'm not seeing it.
Why don't you select her screen so we can see that?
I've selected her.
Bleh.
Oh, see, I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing you staring at
Oh,
the corner.
I think you can select it if you want to. Can you? Because I selected it, so that's what's broadcasting. But
Which is
maybe-
actually interesting because her window says Johnny. Oh, no.
What?
No. Okay, now I can see it. No, never mind.
Brian's a little confused.
Well, that's because I'm sick.
He's
Brian,
Yes.
he's been
how
spending-
how much cold medicine have you taken?
Just before the show, I took like 2/3 of a dose because that ended the bottle.
Oh.
Yeah,
How-
this one.
In the past 48 hours, how many of those hours were spent on the toilet?
Actually, not that much.
Oh, okay.
The big event was on Friday.
Oh, I see. It was a one-time thing.
What did I post 4 visits?
It was a one-time mass evacuation in 4 stages.
That was number 2. Yeah, right. So
Oh my
then there were
god.
additional stages. There were like 6 total.
6 total.
Right.
Damn!
by
yes.
by time 6, you're like, man, Gator's idea about the bidet, not a bad idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my
Look.
my butthole still hurts a little.
Yeah, well,
It was really bad then. It's like holy shit.
I'm telling you, nice, soothing, warm water is far better than the sandpaper that they sell at the grocery store.
And we use the quality. We use the Charmin Ultra.
Yeah, but that only gets you so
But we
far.
don't do the soft version. We do the absorbent version.
But
You gotta make a choice. Do you want absorbent, or do you want soft,
Right.
or do you want a nice compromise in between?
Actually, I got Angel Soft, which is softer than what we normally use. So I use that while I have this issue.
Now the problem,
Huh?
And hydrocortisone helps. But not
dude,
immediately.
it's better just to use witch hazel and Vaseline.
If I
Well,
had
you
witch
know-
hazel, I would do that.
to quote the Flaming Lips, she uses Vaseline.
So Brian got butt hurt for real.
Yep. Oh, and I invented something
suggest
called.
on Twitter. Take it in small steps. Don't try to go for the 10 or larger at once.
Okay, and you invented.
Oh
what
well,
now?
that second episode, I didn't have a choice. It just kept coming and coming and coming. The interesting thing is that it flushed with on one flush.
With no residue.
Nope, it just went all the way down.
Well, you got an old school toilet, sounds like.
Yeah, because normally my butt produces something that will clog. In fact, its mission in life is to clog any toilet, and
Yeah.
it's done a pretty good job at that.
I had that problem growing up. There were a few instances where it was like we're going to need a stick here, because it's just kind of straddling the hole, and just kind of smiling back at you as the water goes down. It just stays put there, and the water comes back in. And what can you do but get a stick and break it up in a little?
No, in fact, I tried that, to be honest, and no, the plunger is the only thing that works, and it has to be a good one, not one of these cheap, suspicious pieces of
Oh
shit.
no!
Well, the plunger comes in after it gets past the hole. First, you got to get it in the hole before you can plunge it. And then, you know what the trick to the plunger is? The trick to the plunger is you don't want to use the plunger to push. You want to use the plunger to pull. And this is something I learned from a plumber on TV. That,
But see, another way to do that is to plunge rapidly.
well, you can do that, but I'm telling you,
in short little thrusts.
I'm telling you, the guy watching TV showed me this trick, and it served me well, like about 99% of the time.
Sure.
You fill the base of the plunger with water by working it around so that you get it filled up, because you don't want to be pushing air, you want to be moving water. And
Absolutely.
You get it over the hole, and you push down slowly, so you got it pressed down there, and then you make a quick thrust up. And that dislodges the clog by pulling it up and then frees it to go down.
And sometimes water flies all over the place, including your face.
Well, you gotta. When I say thrust up, you gotta. Don't go too nuts there. You gotta know your toilet. You gotta know your physics. You gotta know where the
I think we're losing Lulu. Quick.
Lulu, can you imagine the audio I could piece together with this conversation?
This is Painting and Plumbing with Brian and Gators. And
Right.
You thought Leonard Nimoy got it bad.
where first we paint the shit, and then we talk about flushing the shit. So
Why?
oh come on, Neo! Like you never blasted a dookie that clogged up the toilet.
I have. And in the process of clogging the toilet, I've been trying to plunge it. And it gets broken up in the water, and the water splashes. That's why I'm like, no.
You're doing it wrong.
No, it's a common experience.
Yeah, but and then you learn from it, and you don't repeat it because you don't want to.
So
be covered in toilet water.
those water guns that kids use to squirt each other, at the pool.
I don't like the idea of talking about water guns after talking about spraying toilet water.
Okay, so
This is going on.
I was at a hotel,
Oh,
and the
no.
guy came up with the plunger,
No.
and it looked like one of those. You just stick it down there, and
Okay. All right. That
I
was
think it
suspicious,
bypasses all of the outlets, so you don't get it coming back. It just goes right straight down. It's like, boom.
We ain't doing no pull. We're just pushing it all down till it goes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's one thrust.
One-
A typical plunger takes many thrusts.
One thrust, all down.
Right.
Okay. You wanted to talk about Zappa releases, I believe, which is a far more pleasant topic than shit.
Wait a minute. We missed the one part, and that is I invented something called constipated diarrhea. That's where it looks like regular poop, but it really isn't.
Jose Guzman says that he can't see the mountain. That blob there. That's a mountain.
You can't
that's
draw a
mountain,
Viking
that's
ship
mountain,
for shit.
That's a mountain.
Come on, bring
That's-
the photo closer. Otherwise, we just merely look at you.
Okay, all right.
And Viking ships are flat, not a half circle.
It's
Well, he didn't quite get my description. Yeah, pointy ends that kind of stick up.
I got the pointy ends.
You just took the whole thing and
It's an early early prototype of the Viking ship. It was.
Oh my god.
it looks
What?
more like an alligator.
Okay, we'll go with
It
that.
looks like a sea creature, dude.
You know what? I painted it and I love it, so fuck you. I say while sitting behind the painting where no one can see me because I'm hiding my face after making this monstrosity. No, hey, hi, I'm here. Yes.
Yeah, so after the show, take a
Brian,
picture
before you talk about constipated diarrhea, I gotta tell you,
That looks like constipated diarrhea.
we have a story that predates this that would fall under this category of constipated diarrhea. And I'm only telling this story because we've already told this story in the past. So, and the party involved who would be mortified by knowing this is dead. So she knows anyways that we've already told this. So we may as well tell it a second time. For those longtime listeners to the show, they remember a beloved member of the show that didn't even know she was a member of the show, and that was dear old Grammy, Gothard's grandmother,
Oh no!
who we lovingly call Grammy. She would oftentimes call the trailer during the show looking for Gothard. And we have several instances of her calling the show and going, hello. And we also used to feature our voicemail messages every week on the show. And she was a frequent guest on our answering machine every week. And but one week Gothard had a story about her because Grammy had a problem. And the problem was that there's an old backup on the old turnpike. The choo-choo has not left the station. The general is unable to deploy the troops. Basically, she hadn't shit in a long time, and the doctor kept telling her to drink water. And if there's one thing Grammy can do, it could be not follow the advice of a doctor for as long as she can get away with. And so at some point, the doctor produced a medication for her that was of some sort of a laxative. And so she had the medication. And Gothard knew that she had the medication. And Gothard knew what was likely to result from the medication. And so we got up bright and early Saturday morning and made ourselves anywhere but Lincolnville for the remainder of that day. And so we had a good old time in Waterville, going through the dollar bin, buying records, everything. And we made our way to Searsmont and swung by Gothard's parents, and we got to hear about the big old mess that Gothard's dad got to clean up. And I felt a little bad at that point because basically you could get dehydrated and you could get constipated, and that results in diarrhea. And that is what happened once the laxative took effect and released what had built up over the course of the past week all over Grammy's sheets. And yeah. The funniest moment of that story, though, was that when Gothard took Grammy to the emergency room because of the blockage and no shit being produced for a number of days, and the concern there, at some point they took a X-ray, and the doctor was going, well, we see here that you're backed up with feces up on here. And Grammy kind of leaned into Gothard and said, is the doctor saying I'm full of shit? And that was something that we knew for years. But yeah, so Brian, I think it's time for your version of this story now.
Well, I mean, we really did get the most of it. My multiple visits to the deal. But shall we say there was no episode where I'm running to the toilet and I didn't make it.
So what did you mean by constipated diarrhea?
Well, I mean, it never came out like diarrhea. It wasn't, orange or yellow or runny.
I don't think it's
It was never
color.
really runny.
Okay.
What?
So then you mean, so then you didn't have constipated diarrhea, you just had the shits.
But it felt like diarrhea.
So it felt like diarrhea, but it came out solid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
all.
That's all. I'm sorry, I totally stole your thunder by telling you way better.
And it was all
story.
no, you're fine. And it was all shall we say, flushable. I didn't need the plunger for any of it.
Oh.
So it was kind of a positive.
So it was loose. Well, normally you're a clogger, and so your version of diarrhea is solid that doesn't clog the toilet, is what you're saying.
Well, in this case, yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's a win.
Okay, so, normally I use something like Activia to kind of keep things going.
Uh-huh.
The colon is this battle zone of good bacteria and bad bacteria.
Right.
Bad
right.
bacteria when stuff doesn't work right.
Right.
And when you take an antibiotic like what I did,
I need
it,
to
shall we
hear
say,
more of this.
ups up everything.
There we go.
So when you have an antibiotic, you just have to watch that and to make sure that you can keep it under control.
And as Venison is a fellow old person as well, he's also quite familiar with all these types of shits that you're talking about.
Wait,
I
what?
guess. Right? Is that right?
Hey, I was half listening again because I was cruising the web.
He's not paying attention. Okay, but you want
So
to talk
you were
about...
thinking more about the Big Bang Theory finale, right, Venison?
No.
How about you, Lulu? Were you kind of starting to think about
I
that?
found the Vimeo site where I can watch Chirpy Returns.
Again?
And I didn't try. I wouldn't come out the first time.
Oh, no. We don't... we're not talking about that. We are not talking about that. Moving right along...
Well, I didn't get a chance to really see it yet, so I don't know. So I can't talk about it either.
You go ahead and do that. We're going to talk about Frank Zappa. So,
Yeah.
Ryan, you've not been familiar with the You Can't Do That in Stage Anymore series.
No, actually not.
Okay.
I concentrated on his guitar solos, like guitar, more guitar, fucking play your guitar.
Well, there's
just
guitars,
play your guitar.
There's guitar solos and You Can't Do It on Stage Anymore. Basically,
Of course there is, yeah. But most of those albums have no vocals, or little vocals.
Well, you need to branch out and diversify your Zappa listening.
Of course, this is why I brought the topic up.
Okay. Well, basically, Frank, over the course of his career, recorded a lot of concerts. And,
A lot.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, though, and I know this because I read his autobiography, there were some concerts that he couldn't record that he wanted to record because oftentimes in certain areas he'd run into problems with local unions that would come in and demand, money to do their job. When Frank's like, dude, I know how to plug in my equipment. And they're like, no, local union, blah, 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 whatever. And if the price was unreasonable, he'd be say, fuck it, we're not recording, go fuck off. Go kindly fuck off. And, right. But, he recorded a lot of concerts. And one thing that pissed off Frank in his career was how much attention his early work was getting in the 80s. Because he loved what he was doing and was one that I think he was proud of his past material, but he was also a bit of a perfectionist. So he always felt that his past material, especially the earliest material, didn't live up to his current standards. And that's why when he was reissuing his catalog, he remixed some things and even went to the egregious sin of taking his second album, We're Only In It For The Money, and overdubbing the bass and drum parts with his current 80s bass player and drummer, making this god-awful sounding thing that's a mix of 80s sounding drum and bass with 60s sounding everything else. And it wasn't until he died that they finally properly reissued that album in its original form on CD. Not everything...
Well, see, that's the danger. When you put something out there, I mean, it could be Stairway to Heaven, and if you redo it, people get pissed off. So it's just not worth it.
Well, the thing is that people want what they know, and an artist doesn't have that same connection to their art that the viewing, listening public does. They don't want a recreation, or if they, and I'm not, well, I'm speaking generalizations. I mean, for example, Todd Rundgren at one point did an album that basically covered a bunch of his previous material in the style of a Loud Lizard singer. And that's an interesting album, but he wasn't putting that out to replace the previous stuff. It was, here's me doing some of my material a different way. Whereas Frank was like, I don't like how that album came out, so I'm going to change it. And that didn't sit well. And
well, you should put it out as a separate work.
And yeah,
and make it identify the version.
And
but like when Eric Clapton came out with the unplugged version of Layla, people got pissed off, and I just go, okay, you don't like it? Don't fucking listen to it.
Well, but I got pissed off too because that got played on the radio like every 5 minutes. And
eventually it goes away. No big damn deal. Call the goddamn radio station and say, hey, play the original one. I really like that better.
It took about 10 years for it to go away.
Yeah, I saw that on
but it
MTV.
was also popular. Otherwise, they wouldn't have played it.
I didn't recognize the song originally because I was like, wow, this is an awful song. Why do they keep playing this? And then I bought a K-Tel record that included Layla on it. And I was like, oh, that song. Oh, I get it. It's a good song. He just did a really shitty version of it.
No, it was acoustic version. So did you watch the final episode of Big Bang Theory?
We're talking about Zappa still.
Wait, hang on. We're on the same topic, though. Final episode of the Big Bang Theory, the very last thing is you have the vocalist, and he played also acoustic guitar from the Bare Naked Ladies that did the theme song acoustically, but he does the first verse only because the rest of it just doesn't work acoustically.
Right.
And that worked out really well. I mean, some people will hate it. That's fine. They only did it once, so you don't have to listen to it.
All right.
So go back to Zappa.
So, because one of the things that Zappa wrote liner notes for You Can't Do This on Stage Anymore. Basically, it was a way for him to take all these years of recordings and to start putting a collection of something together. And it consisted of 6 volumes, each 2 CDs, because this existed in the digital era. So, 12 full CDs worth of live material. But because it's Zappa and he can do what he wants to do, there is no rule that it has to make any sense. So the tracks don't have to be in the same time period. The song, he might piece together different performances of the same song because, at this show we opened the song really good, but at that show I did a really good guitar solo, and then on this show we ended it really well. So it's, and that's common when it comes to live album. Live albums oftentimes are a series of live recordings from the same tour and taking the best bits and pieces and piecing together the perfect live performance, which never really happened. It's a fictional live performance that is, in theory, the best possible live performance you can get out of what really happened.
No, particularly if you're in different venues, you're going to have a whole different sound experience.
If you got a recording rig with you, you're recording off the board, so you got some closed mic stuff, and you can add your effects and get a consistent sound from your different performances. Or you could record a series of concerts in the same venue. I think the Grand Funk Live album consisted of like 3 or 4 performances in the same venue. So, I mean, what Frank was doing was an extension of that idea, except that, he's got stuff that's... So you might have something from the 60s and then goes into something in the 80s and then something in the 70s. It jumps all over the place. Although, Volume 2 consisted of a series of concerts in Helsinki. So that kind of comes to the traditional live album experience. Which is not a bad live album, because that comes to the, Roxy and Elsewhere era of Zappa. With... which was a good concert.
Incidentally, Lulu, Have you ever gotten into knitting?
I crochet a little.
Okay. Or Venison, do you ever get into knitting or that something?
No.
Okay, so there is a group in Finland that does heavy metal knitting.
Meaning that their knitting needles are heavy.
Or they're knitting metal wire instead of yarn.
Heavy metal knitting.
Hmm.
Anyways, point is,
They're actually playing heavy metal music while they're knitting.
how do you? Okay, you go ahead and tweet the link. We'll look at that. So, anyways, yeah, that's the you can't do that on stage. Now, here's the other little tidbit I was getting to, because one of the gripes that Zappa made in liner notes was that he will even, due to popular demand, throw in a few recordings of the original Mothers of Invention from the late 60s, and hopefully maybe this will disprove the myth that they were actually a good band. And then he put out a 2-disc set. That disc 1 consisted all of the original Mothers of Invention, but disc 2 consisted all of like the 1986 band, which was of the era that he used to overdub that reissue, which was kind of a fuck you to the fans, like, hey, here's the stuff you wanted, but you have to buy the stuff that I like. It's still worth having both discs, but it was that's kind of was seen as an intentional little statement, like, I'll give you both, which works out good. So yeah, they're all 6 volumes are worth having. Good live material, but it's kind of zap and chop and edited live material.
Cool.
I'm surprised you weren't familiar with those, but well, you're only you need.
Well,
need to get a bunch of more
I
Zappa.
was doing Zappa while I was in the, so we say, the phase of just guitar solos with no vocals.
Ah,
I have a lot of Jeff Stewart without Rod. I mean Jeff Stewart. There you go.
Jeff Stewart. Oh,
Jeff Beck without Rod Stewart.
Rod Beck and Jeff Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, no. Jeff Beck did cool stuff without Rod Stewart. I mean, heck, let's not forget Beck Bogart Apathy, in a Black Cat Moan, and the cover of Superstition, and all that. That's
Man, I can't remember that song that Beck did.
Jeff Beck.
Oh, he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of stuff solo.
Well, Jeff Beck in the
or
Yardbirds.
something.
What?
The song I'm trying to think about by Beck is Star Something.
Beck or Jeff Beck?
Had an awesome beat to it.
Are we talking about Jeff Beck or Beck?
Damn, well, let's see.
Venison, do you know, or do you not hear me, or?
Search.
Venison, are you hearing?
I think he's thinking of Beck. He keeps saying Beck, who's a totally different guy. Jeff Beck did,
Right.
well, I mean, heck.
No, I'm talking about Jeff Beck.
Oh, then you'd be referring to the Constipated Duck. No, not the Constipated Duck. Okay.
No.
Anyways,
Search.
so Venison, we want Brian to branch out into a Frank Zappa album that includes vocals. Where would you recommend he starts?
Wait, well, say it again. I just did something in search.
Brian has only listened to instrumental Frank Zappa albums. We want to recommend one with vocals for him.
Hot Rats.
Well, that's mostly instrumental, except for Willie the Pimp with Captain Beefheart.
Shut up and play your guitar.
Well,
Yeah, but most of those are just instrumentals.
Yeah, we want one with vocals, one with lyrics, one with words and shit.
Oh, you want vocals?
Yeah, we want vocals.
Apostrophe.
Oh, that's a good album.
We're all in it for the money.
That's. Yeah,
I like that
but
one.
you gotta get the version that doesn't sound like it's got 80s bass and drums. But yeah, we're only in it for the money. That you get real early. Zappa right there. Freak Out.
Our
Start at the beginning. Get Freak Out.
dysentery green.
Let's make the water turn black.
Something about that song.
Idiot bastard son.
Oh,
What
I missed the important.
Part of your body.
I missed the critical word of the heavy metal knitting.
Yeah.
It's heavy metal. I can't even say it. God damn it. Heavy metal knitting world championships.
Oh, this isn't just your average heavy metal knitting. This is world champion heavy metal knitting.
And it's
here.
It's out of Finland.
Oh, well, that's where they know how to do it.
Right.
Ooh, I found that Beck song.
Yeah.
Jeff Beck for the album There and Back, the song The Pump. Awesome song.
Yeah, I think I have that one.
I still like Constipated Duck.
That one I don't have.
Oh, there's a lot of good ones that Jeff Beck did. And by the way, he was on a live stage and he goes, "Who the hell is this guy named Beck?" Talking about the band.
Speaking of bands, we got Pink Floyd here to play us out because we are putting another show to bed, and I got another.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, it's.
Is it that time? Oh,
Listen,
it is that time.
How is your painting doing, Lulu?
Oh, it's fine. It's still drying.
Okay, all right. But are you gonna paint more on it?
Yeah.
You will have to show us the finished product next week.
Yes.
And
or take a snapshot of it and post it on the Twitter feed.
Sure.
Now, Brian,
as Jonathan should with both episodes.
Yes. Now, Brian.
Like I said, Brian.
I'm gonna
be lower right hand corner. You'll see what looks like a big shafted dick.
I'm gonna be making like one of these appear in my house every 2 weeks. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put these. Would you like some paintings to hang around the house there, Brian? I mean, I'll send you screws.
Sure, there's lots of room.
Yeah, and you just don't even say anything to the missus. Just start hanging them, and let me know what the first words out of her mouth when she sees them are.
Well, she doesn't even want the pictures that my grandmother did.
Okay, well, you know what? At some point down the road, a few months, I'm going to get like 5 or 6 of these paintings, pack them up, ship them off to you. You're going to hang them up around the house when your wife's out on business, and you're going to take pictures of this, and then you're going to set like the video recording for when she comes home. And
right.
And we'll all chip in to buy a futon for you to sleep on for the next few weeks. And
right.
There we go.
I think so. So Lulu, how big is your trailer?
It's a 30-foot trailer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I really want this one that's like 17 feet.
Oh, really?
My biggest requirement is that the bathroom has a sink in it.
Mine has a sink in
it. I know, most of the small ones don't, though.
Oh.
But there's a thing called the Coachman Clipper that has the sink in the bathroom, and the queen-size beds, it's set that you have space on each side, so it's a walk-around.
Oh.
And it's also light enough for my vehicle to tow it.
Cool.
So,
nice.
I'm not allowed to buy one.
So you can work out a deal. I'll take down the paintings if you let me buy the trailer I want to buy.
There you go.
There we go.
Sure,
We're helping
that'll
you.
work.
This is.
I do have a shed in the backyard.
This has backyard shed written all over it. So basically, you say the small trailers have the premise of you shit in there and then you come out to the kitchen sink and wash your hands, which works, but you don't want to play by those rules.
We stayed at a couple of hotels so early this month. We had like an 11-day trip with some relatives. We rented this big Chevy Suburban that could take 8 people and luggage. One of the places was in San Francisco. Very small room. One of the relatives says, "Oh, I love this place. It reminds me of Europe," because it was tiny. But it had a bathroom where you had the the toilet and the shower, and you had to use the sink, in the bedroom area. And when you turned the water on, it had separate faucets. It was mostly hot, so I was checking the cold, and when you had the cold full on, it was just a little dribble. So I played with the shutoff valve, below the sink, and then it didn't work at all. So I fixed it for good.
Nice.
So we just reported it and just had to live with it.
So this is the educational portion of our show where we talk about all the things we've learned here. I think we've all learned a whole lot this week. We're going to start with our, creepy uncle of the group. Venison, what have you learned this week?
Hey. Well, oh fuck it, I'm going for it. I've learned about Brian's butthurt and what he does with the plunger. I mean, shove it up there with short jabs? Ah, God! There are other ways. Never mind.
I agree. There are many methods, and I've tried most of them.
And
the thing that seems to work is the short things, because that actually breaks stuff up.
Yeah, there was a lot of voicing in there. I'm going to have to get the archive of the show and put something together.
All right.
And you probably won't like it.
All right.
Fine.
And
fine. No,
Lulu, our lovely stone Lulu. What have you learned this week?
Finish, and also found out that Jonathan can't really bake that well.
And what did Lulu learn this week?
I learned that these watercolors don't really work well.
Oh, that's watercolor. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work well for painting with Bob, but it worked well for what you did. I can't wait to see how the rest of it comes out. And Brian, what have you learned this week?
Okay, so everybody says that when you smoke pot, that you need to have snacks. And Lulu was demonstrating that little factoid.
Yes.
Well, I also really haven't eaten today, so I'm kind of hungry.
Okay, yeah, so I kind of figured that was dinner. To be honest, that's roast beef, right?
Hmm?
Choo, roast beef sandwich?
Mm-mm.
No?
Salami.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had roast beef sandwich.
I've learned that
just before the show.
So I've learned more than I ever wanted to know about Brian's digestive system. I've learned he's not good at identifying his meats. I've learned that Venison will see a dick in just about anything he looks at.
Yeah,
And
That's obvious.
that was disturbing.
that was very disturbing. And I've learned that I have now gotten to a point where I can paint a half-convincing sky, but I still can't paint a tree to save my life.
But in your mind, a Viking ship looks like a carnival ride.
Yes, that is what I was going for.
Yeah, sure.
I used to love the Sea Dragon at the casino pier at Seaside Heights. Go back and forth, and go way, and it was kind of
some
like
places modify it and call it a Viking ship.
There you go. So you can't blame me. This is what I was taught at fairs with rides.
Absolutely.
I've been at a ride at Seaside.
So, anyways, on that note, thank you everyone for watching. We got lots of great programming on No Holds Barred Radio all week long. Tomorrow night, there's a guy named Vamp who probably would paint worse than me if he had the balls to do it. But instead, he mixes music worse than me. And he's got a co-host, Kevin, Chicken Fingers Kevin, who likes to pretend he's chatting with Vamp while viewing porn. So check that out tomorrow night. And also Saturday night, the 5-Hit with Dune on his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/5HitDune. And then Sunday, I'm going to be out of town, but Dune will probably still be doing a Dune and Bob show with someone else playing the role of Bob, or he'll put a replay up. Either way, it's great fun. And next week, no painting. 2 weeks from now, we're going to need to paint on a black canvas.
So you're going to put up those paintings on Twitter, right?
We're going to put paintings up on Twitter. But
right.
But
otherwise, I'm going to send you cats.
But Bob has a technique.
I promise. Cats.
Bob has a technique that he also ripped off from Bill of taking a canvas and painting it black with the black gesso and letting that dry, and then painting, starting with a black canvas instead of a white canvas. And 2 weeks from now, we're going to do episode 3 of Bob Ross's first season, and that's one of those black canvas paintings. And after that, I think we're going to start skipping around because season 1's kind of a sleeper. I think we could start branching out a bit.
How can you call that? We got a Viking ship out of it.
Yeah, but that wasn't Bob's idea.
And I think Venison says, what did you say? What did we get out of the painting?
Wait, what?
Out of Lulu. What did we get?
We got Dick.
It's not a dick.
I swear, if you look down on the lower right hand, there's a shaft that's at base of the fog, and there's a head on it.
We got Dicks and Viking ships is what we got here. So be sure to stay tuned for automation or nothing, or another YouTube channel. Or go check out...
Lulu, you're going to have to take a picture of your artwork and post it on Twitter, too.
Yes.
That way.
And Jose, glad you stayed with us.
It's okay, Lulu.
Well, we like it.
I mean, if I can talk about constipated diarrhea on Twitter, you can just post an image.
All right, here's the deal. If Lulu's going to take a picture of her art and show it, Brian, you got to take a picture of your art and show it. So the next visit to the bathroom, we're never mind.
Nobody wants to see that.
Some people paint with the watercolor. Some people paint with oil paint. Some people paint with shit on the toilet. But here, it all goes. But no matter what you paint with, Venison will see a dick. Good night.
Hey, the other dude in New York, the other artist painted with shit. He got real famous.
Alexa, turn off the computer lights.
It's mahi mahi time.
Whoopee!